Oh, hello there, everybody. My name is Julia Dolt, and this is the art of just cooking. Today, because the Christmas spirit is in the air, I thought for our first art of just cooking, we would make Christmas sugar cookies with the spirit of Christmas. Alright, so the first step of cooking is to have your ingredients prepared. And I don't even have them out yet, so we're gonna do that now.
Step 1 of cooking, you should probably know the amounts of everything that you have, but step 2 of cooking is that you probably don't have the amounts of everything that you need or have, so you're just gonna end up having to wing it.
Another super important step of cooking is knowing your kitchen. All the spices in the world, but no baking gum. Get all of your ingredients out probably before you start cooking. Alright, step 2, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your phone so you're not distracted when you're cooking. Step 3, I forgot sugar for sugar cookies. So step 1 is make sure you have all of your ingredients out, like so. And I have all of my ingredients out and many bowls. And step 2 is to wash your hands. If you do that, if you don't do that, I encourage you to do that. I do wash my hands though, so I'm gonna wash them.
Sometimes having a little tune helps. It makes it a little bit more fun. Creamy. Enjoyable. Big fingers and hands are happy fingers and hands, and that is what will make your cookies taste better.
Step 3, measure everything out.
Interesting. Sometimes you get fortuitous messages. Sometimes you just roll your eyes because that was not the response you were waiting for.
Oh, we need to measure everything. Well, it'll be okay. You need your butter, and you're gonna put this in a bowl.
Sometimes, Julie, adult, isn't always prepared. But that's the fun in cooking, the spontaneity.
Down with the get down, as the children say. Hip to the groove. I'm gonna microwave because number 1, it could be softer. Microwave dance.
And these cookies are going to be made with the love of the season.
But you can't just eat warm butter, germs. I mean, you could, but I'm not Paula Deen. Alright? Okay. Moving on. Is that a quarter or a third? Sometimes you don't know, and you're just gonna go for it. Can you cream with a spatula? You should also probably know if what you're doing is right, and I'm hoping that butter and sugar looking like mashed potatoes is right.
And sometimes, to stay even more relaxed,
This is a sugar cookie recipe, and I'm pretty sure that that has been around as long as Don Rickles. That's forever. You're gonna just... Carrying isn't really important sometimes in cooking. I mean, mostly it is. But then sometimes you might get too attached and then you don't want to eat your cookie because you're so attached to it, when really it's just like, eat the damn cookie. A funny story about sugar cookies. So when I was a kid, we used to bake things once in a while, and one of those once in a while times we tried to make tortillas, and then they burned. And so that was kind of, that was my first foray into really like cooking and baking. And sometimes your tortillas are gonna get really burned and they're gonna look more like black construction paper and have the same texture. Then there are these other amazing times when things might just turn out right. Kind of like life, wouldn't you say? It fills me with such joy and confusion, and good thing I got out that other big bowl.
Flowers. It makes me think of springtime, you know? And it just seems so far away with this cold, cold weather. Cold weather we're having. So far away.
Take liberties, you know? It's freedom. Freedom. You know, with the holiday season right around the corner, I just keep thinking of all these fun childhood memories. Family fights around the dinner table. Neither of my grandparents wore wigs, but my grandpa has a hat now with hair on it, but that's another story for another day. And salt is not optional in this one. Interesting.
Like, optionality is important in life. You can just do it or not, but apparently that's not allowed here, so.
Eyeball your measurements with measurers. And I'm using sea salt for this because I feel a really close connection to the sea. It reminds me of this this time when I was a kid, and my dad, we were at the ocean and he almost got swept away by a wave. Looking back, it's quite funny. At the time, it was serious. So once you've got those two combined, as I do, add the flour mixture into the butter mixture. So we're just gonna add it by the forkful, because really what you want is moderation. Sun exposure should be moderate. I'm having this moment of realization that I'm trying to fit 2 bowls of the same size into one tiny bowl of that exact size.
I've made a terrible misjudgment and put my hand in the dough to try and mix it.
So now that we know that this is all mixed together, which is kind of the most important part of making cookies, as long as everything is mixed together, you could mix mashed potatoes with chocolate chips, and all that matters is the proportions ultimately. We're going to roll it out onto parchment or wax paper, and I'm really hoping that I have parchment or wax paper at the moment. We're gonna roll it out onto that and stick it in the fridge for about half an hour.
Delectable, really, truly.
Now the thing with baking sheets is that size really does not matter. So we're gonna roll it between 2 sheets.
Getting dough between the sheets.
That went to a whole level I wasn't anticipating.
Just dump this dough. Like I said, moderation is key, but not when it comes to cookies. Right? Right. Yeah. So we're gonna grab some more parchment paper. That is perfectly a-okay. So now we're gonna roll it out. Hopefully I have a rolling pin, and I do not. Take this out, and we're just gonna roll the dough. Oops. Sometimes you overestimate everything in your life. We're gonna do this together.
When you do things in a team, everybody gets blamed, not just you.
So now this is gonna go into the fridge for about 30 minutes. Sometimes you have no room in your fridge, so you get to play Tetris. So now it's 30 minutes later, and we're gonna take our dough out of the fridge. The dough has hardened significantly, which is important. Okay, so now we're gonna pull up our recipe once more and continue in our journey of the spirit of winter.
My cousin's crockpot is making many a noise.
So now that we've got all of this important stuff done, we're going to cookie cutter them.
It's gonna take an hour and a half to get them done. Oh. So it's important to wash your things before you use them, because you don't know those disgusting hands who touched all over your cookie cutters at this store. Also, try not to cut yourself on the cookie cutter, as I just almost did.
Also, we preheat the oven. A funny story about ovens, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, so we'll see whether or not I can actually use this oven.
Oh, it worked. Yay. Okay.
We're gonna start cutting our cookies. Delectable, really. Sometimes your cookies are gonna end up like this, and you're gonna want to go like that. You're gonna want to throw them on the cookie sheet, but you can't do that. Life is all about making the best of mistakes.
And sometimes your dough is not hardened properly. But you're gonna do it anyway because... Or you can't do it anyway. And it's all fun!